So quick update, nothing huge. I'm on my way to work, where I work as a full-time art director. And I was just this morning scrambling to get to work, and I noticed that my publisher had reached out to me and wanted a pull quote for another book that's coming out, and I was really flattered. I think it's the first time that I've been asked by a publisher for a pull quote for a book. And I looked over the book and it looks gorgeous. It looks really stunning. So my hope is to be able to, with whatever time I don't have or have, be able to kind of do a quick glance over it and be able to give like a decent pull quote that's like, that might help sell the book, because it looks very gorgeous, and it has a twist to it that I think is very meaningful. And so yeah, I want to really be able to give it more proper time and consideration. I have a couple things that I need to do on. Anyhow, it was really flattering, and it was kind of like a moment where I was like, oh wow, cool, I'm being asked for a pull quote. Like, it's very flattering. I am also, I got my reimbursement for LA Comic Con. So the tables are full. I lagged too long on that, and it's created this domino effect of, if I'm not doing LA Comic Con, I'd like to try to do Long Beach Comic Con. And unfortunately, because LA Comic Con was lagging on getting the reimbursement, then I had to lag on closing the table for Long Beach. So my hope tonight, if I can, is to try to get Long Beach booked, so that I can continue to promote Jacob's Apartment. And I also need to reach out to stores at some point, again, to try to kind of book signings and stuff. But it is one of those scenarios where, like, at the end of the day, I got to get this book out to the publisher too, and so and obviously, like, you know, keep things running smoothly at my workplace. And so, like, I'm definitely at one of those points where there's a bunch. It's like I feel like my capacity is a bunch of full glasses, and there's water pouring, and I need to catch the water, but every glass is full at full capacity. So if I manage to catch any water, that's the best I can describe it. It's like, it's just busy, and it's not bad busy. It's a mix of like bad busy and good busy, which is life. And so anyhow, that's kind of a little bit of what I'm juggling right now. But I do want to make sure that I'm promoting Jacob's Apartment. It's a really good book that I'm really proud of, and I need to get back on the horn of sending out, like, hopefully a press release or two. I haven't done that in like a week and a half. Reach out to stores, that would be good. And I don't know. I'm hoping that I can also reach out to my literary agent's friend. My literary agent, like, contacted me with a writer who's a fairly well-known writer, so that we could meet up, and we were going to try to meet up this week. And my goal was on Sunday to, like, kind of send a follow-up to that, but I've had no time because of the emergency room and all the kind of chaos this weekend. Luckily, everything's okay with Ben. He seems to be recovering. The only thing that's strange is, like, he's a little lethargic, but I think that's mostly from just, like, missing sleep and being up at weird hours, like, throughout that entire night. But I'm hoping that, that he'll be okay. And then my wife also is, like, super exhausted, understandably, because she's juggling a lot right now. And like, the weekend just kind of set us all back, and was a little, like, the glass was already full, and it was just kind of like a little much on top of our already kind of chaotic lives. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at on things. I made some really good progress on Jacob. I was about to say Jacob's Apartment because I'm exhausted. I made some good progress on Not Death But Love, the strange supernatural story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Yesterday, I almost finished toning the page. I think it's page 28. I'm getting to that point in the page count where I'm forgetting whether it's 27 or 28, but I'm pretty sure it's 28. And I have started that, the tones for it. And so I think that tonight I should be able to finish toning 2 more panels. And if I have my druthers, to be able to flat it as well. But I have to remember before I get into that, if I can, to try to kind of tackle a few of those other things like Long Beach Comic Con, store signing reach out, as well as like press releases, which would be good. Anyhow, so that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm kind of juggling. I know we're all juggling a lot and kind of trying to figure out how to do this whole creative thing and the life thing, which gets really complicated. But I'm feeling more optimistic today that a lot of this stuff is possible. And I'm trying to fight off, and this is the darker part of creating comics, is anytime you release a book, you always want it to be like just, you know, getting written about, and like for people to review it, and like the world to stop and everybody to like think it's this big deal. And unfortunately it's another book, right? And so you have to kind of hustle and promote the book and try to talk about like what is great about the book and try to get people on board with it. The problem is, like, once you start getting book deals like in a position like I am, now it's like it's also just juggling the promotion of that with the creation of the next thing. And honestly, I kind of think some of that's by design. Like, I don't just intend to do one book in my lifetime. And so my goal is to be so busy that I'm working on the next book. But oh my gosh, it's exhausting, and it's a weird little curveball that I don't think a lot of people expect. When you're working on a project, let's say it's like a race. When you're in a race, and let's say you're in a marathon or whatever, most of the marathon, your goal is just to get to the finish line, right? And that's kind of like the creation of a comic book. And it's weird when you get to the finish line and then you have to do press, you have to tell people about the race, you have to remember what it was like to run the race. Even though all the like crazy work to get there, you had this vision of a finish line. When you get to that finish line with a comic or a story, quite often it feels like you get there and there's no audience. And so it's like you have to kind of go through this whole marathon, cross the finish line, and then do promotion on top of that. But what I try to keep in mind is it's a big world, and like there are so many good books that I'm discovering like today that came out like 3 years ago. And so I have to remember there's people like me out there who haven't heard of my books, haven't heard of me. And one thing that's going to help them hear of me and hear about my books is if I can kind of stay on top of those things. The catch is also just like personally, hopefully, like, it's all in God's hands, because this is all dependent on like if Benjamin is better, if my wife is okay. Like, she's exhausted, I know that much. And so all of my plans, and this goes for anyone I think in life, all of our plans are kind of tenuous and hang on outer circumstances that we have no control over. All we can do, and what I've been working on doing this year, and especially this last week, the last few weeks, is just to take things one step at a time. And so I will do the best I can do today, and then I will deal with what comes up tomorrow. And I think that's kind of the best that I can do right now. But off the top of my head, what I would like to do today is contact that writer and try to get a meetup scheduled, and just explain, hey, some stuff came up this weekend. Number 2, see if Long Beach Comic-Con is even a possibility anymore for a table, because if it is, I should book it, because I think it's in September, and that would be awesome. And then number 3, apparently number 3 is going to be my my phone falling and off of the windshield. Anyhow, so I am feeling pretty optimistic. I hope you guys are having a good time on your creative journeys. If you haven't yet, one thing you can help me with, because of this crazy schedule I was talking about, this like life thing and promoting a book thing is really hard. You guys can help. So if you can, maybe make a post on social media. That's going to be my ask today, is if you like this channel, if you like what I do, if you like supporting art, even if you can't buy the book, one thing you can do is just share it. Like, I know that like crowdfunding campaigns and stuff like that can create like a sense of urgency that causes people to feel like they have to share because like time is limited. But honestly, like a book release isn't that far from it, in the sense that like the more urgency people treat it with, the more likely it is that the book will stay in print, right? And so obviously I want sales to do okay on Jacob's Apartment, and if you can, if you haven't bought Jacob's Apartment, consider picking it up or asking your local library or your local bookstore to kind of carry it, because and libraries are a huge thing. So just going to your local library and saying, hey, can you guys carry a copy of Jacob's Apartment is a huge thing. If you're interested, Jacob's Apartment is a story about, it's a slice of life story about 2 roommates who are both questioning their identity. Jacob is a Christian and Sarah is an atheist. They're both roommates, and they both seem like polar opposites, but find more commonality in their common pursuit of careers in literature and love of books, as well as as they're both questioning their identity and their purpose and their meaning, they find themselves drawn together, and as they're drawn together and start finding connections in the waking world, they also start having interlocking dreams that start interacting with reality. So it's like dreams and reality kind of interweaving, and it's a fun book. I'm not doing the best at pitching it, but hey, my phone holder fell, so I gotta go. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys. I hope all is well. I hope you're having an okay time juggling your multiple glasses I don't know, it's a bad analogy, but like, I hope your cups are getting full, and I hope that you're doing the juggle of creative work and life okay. And also, and this is a message for myself and for you guys, sometimes we're just not perfect, and that's the thing. Like, we're not going to be able to handle everything perfectly, and that's okay. We'll make beautiful mistakes, and that's my goal, is like, hey, I'm going to do the best I can and put in my best effort, and hopefully that will be enough to kind of make this whole thing work. Anyhow, the teamwork makes the dream work. And other cliches. All right, have a good one, guys. I hope this makes sense. I'm a little sleepy, so hopefully this jarble of stuff is useful or entertaining for you guys, and I'll see you on the next vlog or live stream. Bye.